Alright, take two. For some reason it didn't. Last time I did it, it didn't record the beginning, uh, the beginning narration and video. Hopefully now it'll record. Yeah, that was weird. It's the first time it happened.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Epic! Let's do this. Okay, let's create our character. Male, of course. Elf. Deception and dexterity and perception helps. Dexterity helps more because it helps with action speed, basically attack with abilities, spells. So then they'll like reload bow faster, reload a blunderbuss faster. And I'm going for wood elves. Wood elves, the Skelter folk trace their beginnings far north of present-day Aedyr and have migrated south throughout the forests of the continent, now covering it all the way south across the equator. They're also believed to have migrated across the sea to Aedyr Glenfath, and while physiologically identical to one another, wood elves from Aedyr are culturally different from those in Aedyr Glenfath and consider themselves wholly different groups. What's great about the Wood Elves is their distant advantage. Against any enemy that is more than 4 meters away, Wood Elves gain bonuses to accuracy, deflection, and reflex. So basically, I want to always keep my... it really works for range Cipher, for rangers, but for range Cipher with bow and later with blunderbuss, it really works wonders, I think. Yes. So I'm gonna go with Cipher. Ciphers are a recent discovery in the Eastern Reach. Ciphers were once called Brishalgwyn, Mindhunters, by the Glenfathans. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally's or enemy's essence as a focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. So I like that sort of underdog feel. Of course, the most underdog ever is Wild Orland, but that's for another Let's Play. So why I like Ciphers so much? Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul focus effects. These powers cost focus, much like mana, which Ciphers build through the use of their soul whip. So that is more of a like a rune, like a Death Knight rune, or like from WoW, sort of a mechanic. And they get +1 to stealth, to lore, and mechanics. Through my culture or through my background, I'm gonna increase the lore and mechanics to another +1. So because mechanics allows to basically unlock traps and locks, so you don't have to have a rogue. Anybody with high mechanics can get it, and I think it makes sense for even though he's range. Yeah, it still makes sense for him. And lore helps with casting scrolls, and he wouldn't really need high lore, even though it helps in discussion. I'm just gonna go athletics and mostly mechanics with him. And yeah, so definitely going Cipher. Okay, what spells should I start with? Definitely Soul Shock. Soul Shock basically briefly transforms the outer shell of an allied target soul into energy, releasing an electrical burst around them. Characters standing in the area around the target take shock damage. So the friendly, you cast it on your friendly, so on like a tank. And if he's surrounded by other enemies, all those other enemies get 21 to 31 shock damage against their reflex. So if they have, so I should, with my other characters, debuff their reflex for even more of the damage. And I usually go for Mind Wave because it's a fast. It's in a cone, 120. It's at the base of the caster. So if any enemy gets to me in melee, I could cast that on them. It casts raw damage, so they can't deflect it, and anybody behind them, it makes them prone. This is even better, even good against the front lines, so that it only hurts the foes, not allies. So that's good. And then I'll go Ice Strike because blinds and dazes. It's a really good CC, but I don't need it. I need more damage. This is main. Mind Wave is it's mostly for it's sort of like an oh crap ability if somebody gets to me. Otherwise, I'm gonna be mostly using Soul Shock. And really, the better spells is like tier 2 or tier 3, where they get a CC to paralyze. I think it's kind of like a mental binding, and then mind blades. Those two are gonna be the bread and butter. Well, Soul Shock also, but Mind Wave more of an oh crap ability. All right, and how will I build them? I'm gonna first go 8 Perception, Constitution, Resolve because I don't really need that much. I do need 18 for these main basically any DPS class, whether it's caster or even a barbarian, it would be similar. Might 8 at high, dexterity at high, and intellect at high. Of course, for example, for a barbarian, you might go more constitution and a little bit less intellect, but a high intellect barbarian will deal more area effect damage. So intellect is of course great for spells to be larger, to last longer. Dexterity is to increase action speed, to reload faster the bow, which I'll start with, and then the blunderbuss, and then the might is basically to deal more damage. Since I'm gonna be a range cipher, I'm gonna start with a bow at first, but then I'll go with blunderbuss because blunderbuss shoots 6 to 8 pellets, and each of those pellets counts as a hit. And there's a talent called Draining Whip that for each hit you get +2 focus. So you could get like +16 focus in one, on top of the focus that you get normally. So Draining Whip, Biting Whip, Penetrant Shot, then Gunner, and maybe Ruffian talents will make me a really powerful Cipher Gunner, even when I'm not using my spells. And all those things help create more focus, and just it's a really powerful positive feedback loop. So even though I'm gonna hit myself in Constitution and Perception a little and in Resolve, it's not that bad as long as my tanks do their jobs. While tanks, they're mostly gonna be 18 Resolve, 18 Perception, and 18 Intellect to keep up all their chants or spells as a Paladin or a Chanter. While having high Perception and Resolve will create a lot of deflection and not even need that much Constitution or armor. Of course, I'm going to put armor on them and try to increase their Constitution through items or upgrades. But for tanks, it's these Perception, Intellect, and Resolve should be high, while Dexterity, Constitution, Might could be low because you don't need them to do much damage. So Might could be low, Dexterity could be low, Constitution could be 8 or 10, but these 3 for tanks have to be high. And as I've said earlier, I will respec the pre-mades because they're spec'd really terribly, but still fairly. I'll be like this. So 3 will have 8, 3 will have 18. It's just the simplest way to go about it, I think. And yeah, in terms of culture, it doesn't matter too much. I like Living Lands because I started the bow, I don't have to pay for it, and it gives you one more might to deal more damage. I might have gone with Deadfire Archipelago to get more dexterity to reload potentially faster, but I'd rather just have a bigger shot with that bow or blunderbuss. And I'm gonna go scientist because I want to increase lore mechanics, and I'm gonna be mostly increasing the mechanics. I'm gonna be sort of like a rogue character, where I would be unlocking all traps and I just want to basically loot everything, more than I want to discuss everything with lore. Might, but not that high on the list. Oh, here you can do. I went for a gold and red colors. It's reminiscent from BG1 and BG2, and I really like that you could dye your outfits. Also I'm gonna dye all my the outfits of all my party members the same colors. It might change. I might not always be golden and red, but I just like that little customization. I wish we could do more, like primary, secondary, tertiary, or for each different part, but it's okay. Skin is alright. Black hair color. This face, wait. Yeah, this face is fine. And long hair. And actually, I to look more examital because that's a culture he likes, even though he was in Living Lands. Um, I uploaded a new my own custom portrait, looking more like a Turkic elf. And
I'm here.
noble, I like the noble voice, and of course Turan. And let's begin. So I'm gonna like wait. I'm gonna describe the action as much as I can, and wait for them to speak, and then I'm gonna fill in the gray. So Caravan Master Odema. The Caravan Master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Odema looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfel, who carries an old, sun-bleached bow. He nods in your direction. Sparfel nods and slides a worn bow over his shoulder. Where would I find his
a bush
berries?
that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
Yeah, it was a wink. Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
There's concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, Never cared to.
Bewick, huh? What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground right there behind you?
They don't got Aedyr where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Ooh, soul capturing. Kind of like that black star, Azura star from Skyrim. Alright, I'll go see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time.
He needs to find some spring berries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Odema chuckles and shakes his head. He looks at you. He casts a sidelong glance at her.
Off with you. Aedyr should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Bewick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Odema's small grin recedes beneath his mustache and he is stern once more.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Awesome. Alright, welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Yora, you may want to watch these windows to become familiar with the tools and phrases available to you. Your party always consists of your character and up to 5 additional companions and adventurers. While the caravan is camped outside Glenfathen Ruins, Odema has assigned Kalisha to help you. Kalisha is a fighter, a class that excels at close quarters defense. Use her abilities to complement your own. To select a party member, click on their selection circle, their portrait, or press the number button that corresponds to the position in the party, starting with one at the left. To select multiple party members, click and drag anywhere. Alright, I know that. To move selected characters, click anywhere on the screen.
Indeed.
Left or right, it doesn't matter. Alright. With multiple party members are selected, the action bar is hidden. To see an action, select only one character.
Yes.
Basically this. So this is what I can use in terms of abilities and weapon sets. This is my spells, Mind Wave, and here's Soul Shock.
What you need?
She has Knockdown, 2 per encounter, and you can apparently talk to her.
Springberries grow wild all over the place here. Keep your eye out.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
Yes.
Here I have Gaunt's Pledge. Basically allows me to heal my endurance. Yeah, I'm gonna make her have the same color scheme. Do I have the same color scheme? Not quite. Okay. This is a little pet. It's a little celestial piggy. It's okay. I want to find some cool, some other pets. But for now, this will work fine. Left alt here is to scout. Scouting mode is used both for stealth and for finding hidden objects, like traps and secret containers. Ooh, maybe increasing stealth is needed to see more traps. Whoa, so then I need to really get traps and secret containers. I'll need to increase stealth and mechanics. Yeah, I don't need lore on this character. I don't think so, because a Cipher really does not need to be casting scrolls. He has enough focus coming in. On my Wither character or Druid, having high lore to cast scrolls might be a good idea, but not on a Cipher. While scouting, your character's selection circles will start to fill. Alright. Character's ability to find hidden objects based on his and her mechanics. Oh! Character's ability to find hidden objects based on mechanic skill. Higher mechanic skill allows them to find objects at a greater distance. So I don't need stealth then to find objects. Scouting mode just basically activates mechanics. Moving towards the character accelerates how quickly they will detect you. Okay. Oh, okay. So right now they see us because we're both yeah, like that. Alright, one thing which I want to do, I want to change my starting look. I'm going to add some examital items. They don't give me anything. They actually decrease my armor because I want to. Right now, I have more DR, that's damage reduction, so it protects me more, but recovery speed is minus 20%. I would ideally want to just wear a clothing, DR of 0, but recovery speed 0%. So basically, I'm not burdened at all, so I can shoot the fastest with my bow. For now, I'm going to put him, he's going to be naked for a little bit. Since I have this mod called IE mod, I should be fine. I still will have Steam achievements. If I don't really care. I'm putting add item, class, outfit, examital. I'll do 3 just so that I have for my party members. Also, I will add a hood. Add item. Hat, hooded, turban 3. I think that's it. That's all the only things I really wanted to change. Okay, so see, examital clothing, DR of 0, but now he looks more like in the portrait and more like I wanted him to look from lore. And see, it doesn't add anything. Value, yeah. So now he looks more like how she'll have the turban too. She can have a higher scale. For now, that's good. That's good. Does this give 20? No, that's 20. DR of 7, DR 4. She has a higher DR, basically more armor. So now I look more like what I want to look like. And
let's keep quiet.
Tab. I'm gonna do tab everywhere. Oh, mechanics. I can open it up and I get this. E is to loot everything. And I'm gonna get that.
Go on then, before it gets too dark.
These tall glass green pillars appear as if they have sprouted from the earth. The flickering fire sets shadows the thing was in. Shadows of these people, of us, caravanners, or somebody else. And now, if you can see, this is like an Aumawa. He's pretty big. Caravan life doesn't agree with you, does it? You look as raw as that merchant, Hyoden. And look, this guy has the same examital, like Bulgarian, Ethiopian, Turkic sort of clothing. All kind of beasts in these woods, and then you have the tribes.
Indeed.
Right. Anything else? Shh. No, I want to see what's going on. Oh, horses here. I'm gonna explore every little nook and cranny before I leave anywhere. Oh, Orlan's cradle. So that's where the baby Orlans are cradled in these like. Huh.
Not looking forward to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
Oh, okay. The fallen tree doesn't budge. Sap oozes from the jagged wound in his trunk. It could have been the wind or somebody sabotaging this place. Basically, I almost want to have tab always on.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
You don't. Okay. Anything else? No, I've seen there. Nope, I think that's it. Let's see what he has. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble. as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Aedyr Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
He looks at his wagon and grins ruefully. With an outlook like that, I'm sure you'll do well. We'll see, I suppose. I'm just trying to do right by my family. You have now one rank in disposition or reputation. Oh, that's very important for paladins and priests, unless they take a talent. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity. But if your main character is a why doesn't it go down? Is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to misalign their dispositions with what is favored by their deity and order, respectively. For the main character only, their dispositions will modify the effects of holy radiance for priests and faith conditions for paladins. Oh, okay.
Something else you need?
Tell
Looks
me
like we're settled for the night.
Oh, tell me about the Aedyr Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Restrained and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire, a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravanners. Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Restrained? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
He shrugs. Deerwood is a former Aedyr colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Restrained's work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. So, that sounds reasonable enough. Out here, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Let's see what you got. So he has crossbow, greatsword, hunting bow. I think I have a hunting bow. That's another thing. I would like if I could see shift and see what my weapon is. By quarterstaff, he has a war bow. That does quite a lot more damage, but hunting bow speed is average. But this warbow does more damage. 17 to 25 versus 13 to 19. Let's see what I have. A rod, there's a medium shield. She needs a shield, but it's alright. She'll still survive for a while. I have a hunting bow. Range 12 meters.
Something else you need?
What does a warbow have? It doesn't say a range. It does more damage. Let's sell this padded armor and this. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna have this warbow because I think it does more damage. I'm gonna put these potions on my taskbar, so I should see them on my taskbar. Yes, and that should be dealing more damage. 1725, right? All right.
Yes?
Maybe get her a shield. Nah, she'll survive. Exploration is key in the Pillars of Eternity. As you make your way through the eastern reach, open the area map to see what parts of the map you've already been to and what's left to explore. So we've been here. We'll need to go there. Okay, this Sparfell, who's getting our water.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere. There's a grove nearby. Ought to have what you're looking for.
Okay. Alright. Oh, there's a... What's here? The path... This path went through a narrow
We
canyon.
shouldn't stray too far.
Okay. Through a narrow canyon back the way you came, grooves in the road mark the passage of hundreds of caravans. Okay, so she said not to stray there.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Uh-oh. Deer, dead deer, dead deer. So
Let's keep quiet.
it's not that we need to go attack.
What you need?
Knock you actually attack. Once she'll get there, I'm gonna in range, I'm gonna do soul shock on her. The Restrained combat uses a pausable real-time system because you will often manage more than one character at a time. It's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real-time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met. Alright. All characters in the game, friend and foe, have 4 primary defenses against attacks. Deflection, Fortitude, that's health, Reflex, and Will. These defenses are based on the character's attributes level, items, and other effects. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defenses when attack is made. If accuracy is below the target defense, the attack suffers a penalty. Penalty to the... Why doesn't it go down? Penalty to... Doesn't like... Weird. Okay. Penalty to the roll and is more likely to result in a miss. If accuracy is above the targeted defense, the cast is more likely to result in a crit. Oh, so it's all about the accuracy. Alright. Alright. Alright, now see, she is in range. Now I put Soul Shock on her, and it should hurt both of them. I'm gonna switch to... That's 6 meters, apparently. Oh. I did... Kalisha killed Young Wolf. She critted for 29 damage. I hit for 17. So I did a roll 44 raise. And my accuracy was 36. The wolf's defense was 34, so I did more than that. Alright, now attack. See, I have 8 focus, so I can't cast another one, and these are both 10. So I go back to shooting. My actually still higher. That's good. Oh, it's 13, so I can do another one, but the wolf is almost dead. Another... Yeah. Alright, that was pretty good, even though she did most of the damage, I think. Bestiary progress 25%. Oh.
I'm here.
Alright.
This is it.
Spring berries, yay. You're some kind of scientist, the way I hear it. I learned to harness to solve crimes. There's a lot of demand for substances that alter the mind. A little science goes a long way in meeting that demand. I spent a long time pursuing the knowledge promised by alchemy. I'll say it was alchemy. Yeah, how is it you happened to come here? Alchemy is dangerous. I was nearly killed in an accident. My teacher was a fraud who cheated people out of their hard-earned money. I found it to be limited. The secret is one of those secrets I wanted answers to. I say it's dangerous. Hazard of the lifestyle, I suppose. You had to expect it was a possibility, no matter how much you didn't want it to be that way. Kalisha breezes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle, like the rest of the lot? I hadn't given it much thought. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So you must have some other plan in mind for coming this way. I hope to meet someone and fall in love. I don't want to scare you, but the way some of these rural types look, you might want to reconsider that. Lots of sideways teeth and hair sprouting from unexpected places. Oh, this is funny. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odema will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. What can you tell me about Deerwood? It's not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Aedyr Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but it's somehow getting worse. With an easy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Why are you here? Kalisha sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. But that's how she always is. This time though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Examital, but I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here, and we'll see. Odema I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive around this way, but he's doing it for me. Oh, let's get back to camp. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. Oh, that's where I'm from. I've got a brother in Rautai and another in Aedyr. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfle's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water.
I'm here. I shall.
Alright. Jay. A moment's respite. A sudden sickness has come over me. The caravan master has urged me to find a remedy before my condition worsens. So I collected some springberries. Odema suggested a certain tea brewed with local berries should cure me. Sparfle has gone to fetch water from the river, but it falls to me to gather springberries. Odema says they grow in a distinctive bush. Sparfle seems to be in no hurry to gather water. I should go look for him myself. Gilded Vale. Gilded Vale is said to be one of the most prosperous villages in the Deerwood, full of opportunities for work and wealth. I was told they're offering land to new settlers. The road to Gilded Vale has been a long one. It's not over yet. Thankfully, traveling by caravan has insulated me from some of the dangers of the Deerwood. Alright. Those journal. There's biography here. Whoa. There's encyclopedia. Different about a wolf. Oh, maybe if we have higher lore, I'll know more of its accuracy and so on. Where the deer, wolves will soon follow. This Aedyrian proverb, often spoken with the first phrase omitted, suggests the vulnerability that early settlers often felt in Eastern Reach, and speaks to the long association of the Aedyrians, the little people of the deer, have had with four-legged predators that are ubiquitous in the Deerwood as they are in the Aedyr Empire. Wolves are legendary for their speed as well as their alleged ability to knock their prey prone, subsequently subjecting them to devastating attacks. Oh, I can write some notes. What is this biography? The laws of the natural world are pieces of a puzzle to you, and you dedicate yourself to putting it together, unraveling its mysteries, and revealing small truths to bring larger ones in focus. In your homeland, the Living Lands, you developed an interest in nature's most basic elements and how one could be transformed into another. Whoa, that's cool. And it led you to become an alchemist. However, you came to see the dangers of your field when an accident nearly claimed your life. The memory lodged itself in your memory as a warning. Dreams of romance led you to venture into the take up residence in Gilded Vale. Oh, so it's building off my choices. You fell ill traveling with a caravan bound for Gilded Vale. The caravan master sent you off with one of the guild guides, Kalisha, in search of remedy. So I'm gonna be reading more of this biography as it unravels. Seems like it's gonna be very custom tailored. Anything here? Oh, there's something here. Burned lady. Yep. Oh, there should be a little stream down here. Oh, look at the stream.
Easy now.
No, can't go there. It's actually interesting. A lot of streams follow and change erosions. They change, divert their usual paths. Even in warfare, there was a lot of times Mongols, Turks, and other peoples diverted rivers away from a city or into a city to crumble its walls and infrastructure. So what we think as very in stone, like is much more fluid. All right, let's explore down here. We were over there, right? Yeah. Oh dear! That's so cool. Uh-oh. Travelers, maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. The corpse is cold to the touch, and the ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark, crusted bloodstain besmirches its simple linen clothing. Oh, it's okay. A lockpick and a leather armor. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Arrows. Glenfathan. So Glenfossens are nearby.
Let's keep quiet.
No. Little piglet. Alright. I think I explored that whole side. Only this side left. Nice little bridge.
What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
Okay.
This is recent. Not good.
Uh-oh. A Glenfathan little... The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days longer. There's a little thing.
Stay quiet.
Let's see what we found.
Yes. The disappointer. Alright. Pistol, two-handed. Terrible. -8 melee accuracy. -8 range accuracy. Just terrible. But what I heard is if you enchant it, all the negatives go away and it becomes a pretty decent pistol. So if I can enchant it. The Disappointer was touted as a powerful, reliable weapon, but it has consistently failed every one of its unfortunate owners. This is a terrible weapon that disappoints anyone who uses it. The gun appears well made at first glance, but closer scrutiny reveals poor design and shoddy craftsmanship. Those who aren't fooled by its appearance still occasionally attempt to use it just to see if maybe the whole thing was made to look this way as an elaborate ruse, hoping that it is an artifact of extreme power crafted by a master who desired to conceal its remarkable nature. It wasn't, and it isn't. Oh, you can compare. There, that's how you compare. It has higher damage still. Anyways, I'm gonna have all that. Anything here? Anything up? Let's. No, you can run. I really like the graphics. The graphics are pretty good. Huge improvement over Baldur's Gate. And very comparable to Divinity Original Sin, while being somewhat more realistic. Oh, jerk crap! I really love these like sort of Celtic ruins. Uh-oh. Where is Sparfell? Where is Sparfell? You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kalisha waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait, a spastic wobble in his ordinarily deft stride as he moves toward you with labored breath.
Sparfle? Are you alright?
Sparfell toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, and the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. There's Sparfell, he's dead.
Ambush!
Uh-oh, Glenfathens?
Hmm?
Okay, you take care of him. I'm gonna mind wave this guy, and then I'm gonna run away so that he attacks her instead of me. Now I'm gonna move. Now I'm gonna shoot this guy. Okay, good, perfect.
What you need?
I did take some damage, but
Yes?
not as much. I can put a soul shock on her.
Indeed.
Oh, I miss him. I'm gonna shoot him again. Yes! Oh, I killed him. I did 20 damage on him. Oh, wow. That was good. That was well
Come on,
played.
we have to get back to camp.
I lost about 6 health.
Yes?
Yeah, I did, so that I can loot a wider area. Alright. Actually... I want you ahead of me, yes. Okay. Attack. Try to bring him down. I'm gonna just fire. I'm gonna do a...
Hmm?
Yeah, go... go... Yes.
Yes?
Yes. 24 shock damage. Good.
What you need?
Kalisha, yeah, keep attacking.
Yes?
I will... still 10. A little bit more. Good, got it. This guy. I can, I'm gonna save, the... Okay, now I'm gonna put it on her. Another shock. There you go, for 15 shock damage. Oh, wow, I think I killed both of them. No, Kalisha killed one. Alright.
Carrying too much weight.
What's good is that some stuff can go into stash. So I'm gonna put whatever she has into stash. Actually, she might have this. Yeah, okay, so it looks good. So she has more
I'm here.
some more defenses. Oh no, the caravan is attacked. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy on the blood-damp earth. Kalisha puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away the horror like a poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs as they prepare to add you to the sprawling pile beneath them. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hyoden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. Alright, I have lore 1, I'm gonna go with that. The ruin has not been sullied by our hands, men of Aedyr Glenfath. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them, they mean to kill us all. I could go with might, I will not go with intellect. Judging by the string of animal teeth around your neck, I'm guessing you are worshippers of Galawain. If Galawain told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? The man frowns and motions as if to swing his axe. Hyoden winces, but the blow never comes. Instead, the man cocks his head, intrigued. Of course, but he would not. It is by the command of all the gods that we accept this charge. How do you know? Because it's consistent with their beliefs, or because it's what you were told? The man glares. It has always been known to my people. I see. And what of Galawain's edict that weakness and age must be purged by use and strength? You think Galawain would want some moldy, crumbling stones to survive long after their builders have turned dust? The man's nostrils flare as he fumes. He would not. He told us otherwise. I'm sure he did. Just not you personally. But why should that stop you from killing innocents? Distracted, the man's grip falters on his axe handle, and he nearly fumbles it, affording Hyoden the moment he needs to dodge out of his swing, which comes too late. Howling with rage, the man charges you instead. Okay. You blinding strike.
What you need?
Kalisha, you knock him down.
I'm here.
I am going to soul shock Hyoden because he's close to all of them. Okay. Oh, I did. Oh, poor Hyoden got a lot of... Did I do any soul shock? 4 hit. Ooh, I did a lot of damage. Whoa, look at that soul shock. 26 damage, 33, 32. Whoa, that soul shock was awesome. He's still doing his action. She knocked that guy. No, actually, you can. Who has the most health? Knock that guy.
Yes?
You shoot. Come on. Oh, 13. Maybe I need to go just a little bit more. Well done. Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companion is now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The winds begin to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin like a jetty beginning to succumb to the surge of a great wave. And where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across the chest and bow, Odema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
Oh. What an epic opening. Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hyoden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges for Hyoden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hyoden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. From your position, you would have a good chance at hitting your mark. I grab a rock and hurl at the attacker. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Hyoden loose. Lurching to his feet, Hyoden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out into the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull it with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Hyoden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swelling wind below. Now you feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, although it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Oh, wow, epic.
Was that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
Hyoden's words come between wheezing gasps.
And we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
Yes?
Epic. Alright, this concludes episode 1. See you in episode 2. Starting from this, inside this ruin, we're hiding out from the Bewick, from this torrential, soul-spirited gale storm. So see you in episode 2.